So hello there, my name's Zane Lemaitre and welcome to the video, and this is a review on Gordon's Hornby coaches, the composite coaches that is, in the Hornby Thomas range, which is sadly now discontinued. And these coaches are quite special. As you can see here, they come in the old style of packaging, and I believe that this is the original packaging that it all started off with, when Hornby started making the Thomas range back in the 80s. And these coaches are based upon the express coaches that were first seen in the first series of the show, and they're now still in the show in the CGI series. They've never really been absent, and in the Hornby range they're mainly called Gordon's composite coaches, probably due to the fact that Gordon pulls them most of the time. However, it's not just Gordon that pulls them, other engines pull them as well, as you can see here. And there's also some coaches similar to this that are express coaches, but they've got a red stripe along, and I've got quite a few of these, as you've probably seen in my other videos. And they're known as James's coaches.
I'll just have a little chat.
Yeah. James is seen pulling them most of the time. However, again, other engines pull them as well, and Gordon pulls them occasionally as well, the red ones. But I think Gordon looks much better with the green ones. I've actually got a few of these now, and there is a brake coach as well, which I've got in the newer range. And the difference between these coaches and the brake coach is, if you look at this photo here, again from the TV series, the rear coach, there's a space between the brake compartment and the bit where the passengers sit, and no windows in between. And again, it's quite interesting when you look at the packaging for these. There's a little animation of Gordon, and when you turn the box over, it tells you on the back all the other ones you can buy. However, it's upside down, as you can see here. So I do find that rather strange. And it's the same on both boxes, whether it's a factory error or not, or the way it was, I don't know. I'd never seen any in this packaging before. And I got these the other day. I got these from a shop in Rushden called Osborne's. And as you probably remember me saying in previous videos, it's been there for 65 years now. The shop, it's still open today, family run business, so I think it's great that it's still there, and I think the prices are fairly reasonable. And these cost me £9 each, which I thought was quite a good buy. However, probably not still as good as my £5 bargain train set that I managed to get from a charity shop. Again, I sort of reviewed that previously the other month, but nevertheless still a bargain. And I do hope to run these another time. Like I said, I do think they look really nice. And in the railway series, the express coaches don't look like this at all. They look rather different. And again, going back to the red coaches, they're seen in the railway series. And again, when I've been on preserved railways, the red ones look very similar to a lot of ones that I've seen on preserved railways, you can see here. And like I said, I've got quite a few of these now. And I think with coaches and trucks and that, it's important to have more than one of the same ones sometimes to create a long train. And again, when I've been on preserved railways, when you watch the trains go by, they have lots of mixed different coloured coaches. So that's quite realistic. So if you really wanted to, you can mix all the coaches together to make a long train. On Channel 4 there was a very interesting railway documentary of Peter Snow, and you can watch this on Demand 4, I think it's called, which is basically like iPlayer. And on there, in the documentary, there was a few different railway coaches, of different eras, different designs, and they're all restored, and then they ran a long train with them. And that was on the Llangollen line in Wales, which I've been to before. A really lovely line, I really like it, and it's the only standard gauge preserved railway in Wales. And unfortunately today I read in the newspaper that the Llangollen line's closed down for the time being because of the pandemic. And I hope a lot of these preserved railways pull through. I think a lot of them will, probably the tourist ones will. And I hope they pull through, but I think they will. So, just got to wait and see, really. No point dwelling on the negatives. But like I said, I do really like these coaches. These coaches actually have plastic wheels on them. And I've been told by a lot of railway enthusiasts that with plastic wheels you need to be very careful because they can make the track dirty. And obviously if the track's dirty, the engines don't run as well because of the contact between the electrified rails and the engine. But you can actually buy metal wheels and replace them. So it's not the end of the world, but I thought these were a good price. And again, I thought it was nice to have some more railway coaches. And like I said, I do have the brake coach as well. So there's the brake coach, and the roof is a little bit darker on this. This is the newer one in the newer style of packaging. The roof is a little bit darker, but when going along, I don't think it's that noticeable, to be honest with you, because the colour scheme on the side of them is more the same. So personally, I don't think there's much of a difference. And they all, because of the colour scheme on the side, they all look the same still. And again, if you look at the brake coach, you can see the difference between the gap there and the size of the windows. So you can tell this is the brake coach and they're the composite coaches. But I was really, really happy with these. Another thing as well, obviously, I got these from Toy Shop in Rushden, and around this corner's the railway station, which I also had a little look at. Unfortunately, that's closed at the minute as well. But I saw the Class 31 there that I drove a few years ago. Again, that video can be seen on my channel. And behind it as well, it's a pacer train that they've managed to get hold of. Obviously a lot of them being preserved now, I think, the pacer trains. But yeah, no, I really like these coaches. You can get them in Bachmann. At one point they were discontinued, but then they come back again. And anyway, I do like these ones. In some ways, I think the Bachmann ones look a lot more like the coaches do in the CGI animated series of the show. But I like these ones because, like I say, for me, these are like the model series of the show, the originals. So I personally prefer these ones. Like I said, obviously Bachmann and Hornby, there's a lot of comparisons and some are better than others. But so I do think the Hornby one's a lot better in this case. Another day I hope to get my track out and run these properly, but I'm sure they'll run really well. Most rolling stock normally tends to. And say all the wheels are there, there's no buffers missing. So I was quite pleased with this bargain buy. And I'd give the express coaches a 10 out of 10. Because like I said, I find it very hard to fault them. I think all the details there, they look really nice. And quite realistic again to the TV series, which is obviously what I've got to compare them to. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye. Something else I got that I wanted to show you is this die-cast model. Now, if you watch my other videos, you'll see that I have lots of other die-cast models and figures and things like that. It's been a hobby of mine collecting things like that, and keeping them in the box and some out of the box as well. Depending obviously what it is. But this is Hot Rodney, and I'm sure you'll agree the detail looks really nice, and his name's on the back of him as well. And Hot Rodney was a character out of Dream Street. In the middle there, that logo is Buddy. Buddy was the main character in it. And it was on CITV, again in the corner of the box you can see the old CITV logo. And it wasn't my most favourite show in the world, but it was one that I liked. And also, it featured the voices of Russ Abbott, who's a fairly well-known actor. He was in Last Summer Wine as well. And so was obviously Peter Sallis, who voiced Wallace in Wallace and Gromit. And that was one of Britain's longest-running sitcoms. So Russ Abbott was the voice, and also Dave Benson Phillips done voices as well. And I'm sure a lot of people, particularly if you're my age, everyone knows who Dave Benson Phillips is. And that was the old CITV, and I really used to like watching CITV. I remember watching that when I came in from school, as well as CBBC. And obviously back then we had VHS tapes, so we used to have one recording and then watch the other one. obviously before you could record a TV live, that was. And one of my favourite other shows that was on there was Sooty, when Matthew Corbett was presenting it as well. I really liked Sooty. But anyway, this was something I got in Osborne's. Where I went to. There's always either new things or second-hand things, all sorts of things in there. Never know what you're going to find, really. Really nice shop. And on the back as well, it shows you the other characters that you can buy. I got this as well today.